when I was fighting him, it was like serious, and now it's just like in my opinion, he's a nobody. He's a drug cheat, and in this game of boxing, you shouldn't cheat, man. You shouldn't cheat. People can really get hurt.
If they would find something in my blood or on my pee, they would lynch me.
Right. Including him, so he never got off.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does?
The drug cheat.
Is that a fight you'd entertain?
No, definitely.
No.
Reacting to Jake Paul's failed drug test, Anthony Joshua didn't hold back. He called it exactly what it is: cheating, and confirmed the failed test. Joshua was clear. In his world, cheaters get banned, plain and simple. He's only in the ring for real competition and for legitimate stakes, not rule breakers. His anger, his discipline, that's exactly why Joshua commands respect. And it exposes Jake Paul's confidence for what it really is.
You know, if you're on drugs, you get banned. Simple as that.
John Fury weighed in, and he didn't mince words. Failing a drug test in a high-profile fight? That's very naughty indeed. And Anthony Joshua? He'll expose anyone trying to cheat. His focus, his discipline, that's what makes him unbeatable. Jake Paul's confidence, boosted by drugs, counts for nothing against Joshua's skill and integrity. This is a clear message to the world. Here stands the true champion.
Sign up to the drug testing people's harder. Now, to me, that's very naughty because we're meant to be in a high-profile fight. What's going out?
Adeola Oladipo called the situation easier to digest, but even he admitted it's weird and confusing. He questioned whether cocaine could be used as a masking agent for performance-enhancing drugs. And Anthony Joshua? He sees straight through it. His discipline, his honesty, they stand in sharp contrast to Jake Paul's failures. Even if drugs gave Paul confidence, Joshua's skill, strategy, and ring intelligence will dominate. This is a clear reminder that talent and integrity always beat cheating. Fans might be shocked, but Joshua's reputation, it only grows stronger.
That's kind of easier to digest. This is weird. I don't know if cocaine, I honestly, I don't know if cocaine is now used as a masking agent for a performance-enhancing drug.
Anthony Joshua pointed out something very clear. Many fighters have failed drug tests recently. This isn't something from decades ago. Cheating is happening right now, and it cannot be ignored. Joshua's honesty and focus show he fights with integrity. Jake Paul's failed drug test only proves he was leaning on substances, while Joshua's discipline, experience, and skill place him far above. Fans can see it clearly. Joshua is in control and ready to expose anyone who thinks drugs give them an edge.
Also point our finger at many others that have failed drug tests, and we're not talking about 20 years ago, we're talking about in the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Frank Warren was blunt. The failed drug test is a fact, and it hasn't been denied. He stressed that while Jake Paul is entitled to his day, this situation must be resolved quickly. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua's focus remains razor-sharp on clean, fair competition. He won't be distracted by cheating opponents. The boxing world is watching, and fans can see clearly. Joshua's skill and experience make him unstoppable, and no reliance on drugs will save Jake Paul from a proper knockout. In this ring, integrity and preparation always win.
You know, there's lots of talk about, you know, let's see how this works out, and, you know, he's entitled to get his day and so forth. Well, it should be dealt with very quickly.
Dave Coldwell didn't hold back. His first reaction to Jake Paul's failed test? Bloody hell, cheating bastard. He made it clear, whether it's a first failure or a third, the gut reaction is always the same. And Anthony Joshua? His focus and honesty stand in complete contrast. Joshua only fights fairly, fully prepared, and fans can see it. Skill, training, and integrity outweigh any temporary boost from drugs. Jake Paul's failed test exposes the weakness behind his overconfidence, and Joshua's dominance has never been clearer.
Fucking hell.
cheating bastard.
Yeah.
You know, that's the initial reaction. Whether it's a first fail or a third fail, that's the initial reaction. Your gut reaction is. But then obviously we don't know what he's failed for yet, and we don't know what it is. But then when it's somebody that's failed 3 times, or this is the third adverse reaction.
Tommy Fury laid it out starkly. If he can beat Jake Paul, just imagine what Anthony Joshua would do. Fury even said that, broken arm or not, Joshua would finish Paul in under a minute. Joshua's skill, strength, and experience make him unstoppable. Fans can see it clearly. No cheating, no confidence from drugs will save Jake Paul. Joshua's reputation and ability place him on another level, and this fight is a warning to anyone underestimating him. He will dominate with ease, and he will do it fairly.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go.
Adam Catterall made it very clear, fighters cannot pick and choose when to follow the rules. He stressed the importance of serious anti-doping tests and the safety concerns if a fighter fails. Anthony Joshua will only step into the ring against opponents who fight fairly. Jake Paul's failed test proves he was relying on drugs for confidence. Fans may worry about boxing's integrity, but Joshua's discipline, experience, and skill guarantee he will dominate. He represents safety, fairness, and professionalism, and no attempt to cheat or manipulate the system can stop him from exposing the truth and asserting his superiority.
They want to turn up and get paid.
Correct.
This should not be their decision. The British Boxing Board of Control should be standing up and taking the voluntary anti-doping test seriously.
Absolutely.
Yes, I know that you work with the UK anti-doping. I know that, but this is a test. He's popped hot. Let's look into it properly. What happens what if something happens on Saturday night?
Absolutely.
What if we've already got a safety issue with the weight?
Anthony Joshua said it himself. He doesn't expect anything from anyone and focuses entirely on his own preparation and corner. No matter the distractions, he goes out and fights professionally every time. His discipline stands in stark contrast to Jake Paul's cheating behavior. Fans can see it clearly. Joshua is mentally stronger, committed to fairness, and relies on no drugs, no shortcuts, just pure skill and determination. His ability to stay focused under pressure is why he's a world-class champion. The boxing world knows one thing: anyone trying to take advantage of the system will face Joshua's dominance.
I just don't expect anything from anyone. People are entitled to talk about sparring. People are entitled to not talk about sparring. I just got to make sure that I handle my own corner. And how I'm gonna handle my own corner is do what I do, go out to fight every night. That the dates are put in front of me and just do my job.
Duke McKenzie praised Anthony Joshua as the complete boxer, a man who controls the fight with intelligence and precision. His jab is lethal, his defense nearly flawless, and his ring IQ means he rarely takes damage. Jake Paul? He lacks these skills, relying on luck, and in this case, illegal advantages. Fans can see it clearly. Joshua's training, endurance, and tactical mastery make him almost impossible to beat. Even with drugs, Paul cannot match Joshua's experience, speed, or defense. The world is watching as Anthony Joshua proves that true talent and discipline always triumph over cheaters. He is a master of strategy and power.
You know, he's just a good all-round boxer. He doesn't want to fight with you, he just boxes you and he peppers you with his jab. He's got brilliant ring IQ, as we all know. He's got a good engine, takes a good shot. He doesn't actually take a shot because you've never seen him get nailed with it.
Duke McKenzie made it very clear. Jake Paul is not world-class and not a serious fighter. His failed drug test confirms he cannot compete fairly at the highest level. Anthony Joshua represents everything Paul is not: skill, experience, and discipline. Fans can see it clearly. Cheating cannot replace genuine talent. Joshua's performance will highlight just how far ahead he is in every aspect of boxing. Even with hype or confidence from drugs, Paul is exposed as a soft target. Joshua's integrity and preparation make him a true champion, a fighter the world respects.
I don't think he's world class. He's not really my cup of tea. I mean, I don't look at boxing probably the way you do or most sort of fans do. I look at it from a boxing perspective.
Duke McKenzie didn't hold back. Jake Paul is a soft touch, practically waiting to get knocked out. He explained that promoters might use him for easy wins to boost someone else's profile. Anthony Joshua, however, is fully prepared and will not take any risks. Fans can see clearly that Paul's failed drug test proves his overconfidence was completely misplaced. Joshua's skill, power, and tactical brilliance make this an early night for Paul. From the first bell, Joshua will dominate, exposing every weakness and showing why he is a true world champion in both skill and discipline.
You know, but what I'm saying is, he's a soft touch. He's waiting to get knocked out. So the promoter says to himself, right, he scratches his head and says, you know what, I need to get my fighter a couple of easy ones just to get his confidence back so he can bring him back to the fore, bring him back to everybody's imagination. Everybody sees him knocking somebody out, looking good doing it. So this guy's made for Anthony Joshua. It'll be another Ngannou early night for Joshua where he gets a little bit of confidence.
Johnny Nelson made it clear Jake Paul's condition is already in doubt. His legs gone despite all his training. Anthony Joshua will face a fighter who is physically weaker and unprepared for a real challenge. Fans can see it. Joshua's stamina, strength, and timing will dominate every round. Even with hype or drugs, Paul cannot match Joshua's world-class conditioning. Joshua's ability to adapt and maintain power throughout the fight shows why he is far above any YouTube fighter. This bout will expose Paul's weaknesses while highlighting Joshua's discipline and unmatched preparation in boxing.
In front of him. And I said, look, if you're to believe that he had the best training camp, his legs have gone. And if I've got it wrong, his legs have.
Joe Rogan pointed it out. Anthony Joshua's size advantage is massive, and he knows exactly how to use it. His reach, power, and technique make him a nightmare for Jake Paul. Fans can see it clearly. Paul's previous experience and any confidence from drugs won't help against Joshua's mastery. Joshua controls distance, timing, and positioning, making every punch count. Paul cannot handle Joshua's jab or his devastating right hand. This fight will be a masterclass in power and skill, with Joshua controlling the ring and exposing Paul as a fighter relying on luck and shortcuts.
Jake Paul's 6'1" versus 6'6" Anthony Joshua. Jake weighed in for the Tyson fight at 199. Joshua against Ngannou was 252.
6'6". Not just 6'6", but 6'6", and knows how to use every fucking inch of it. Knows how to keep that stick in your face. He was keep that jab in his face, and that right hand, if it hits you, you're fucked.
Anthony Joshua made it very clear he's not just relying on power, he's bringing his complete skill set. Fans can see that his strategy, intelligence, and determination will systematically dismantle Jake Paul. Joshua's ability to adapt and exploit weaknesses shows exactly why he is a true champion. Paul may have leaned on drugs for confidence, but Joshua will break him down methodically. Every angle, every punch, every tactic is calculated. His mental strength and fighter spirit make him unbeatable in this matchup. This fight will prove once again that discipline and talent outweigh shortcuts and overconfidence. And Jake Paul is heading for a humiliating defeat.
I'm not dependent on punch power, you know. You know what, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter, so there's various ways I'll win. But I got the fighter spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down.
Lawrence Okoli didn't hold back. Jake Paul has no real boxing skills. Relying on soft gloves and speed, Anthony Joshua's experience and technique will expose him immediately. Fans can see it clearly. Paul's confidence comes from shortcuts like drugs and hype, but he simply cannot compete with a disciplined, skilled world champion. Joshua's power, footwork, and ring IQ make him far superior. every punch he throws will be calculated and effective, leaving Paul unable to respond or defend properly. This fight will be a clear demonstration that raw talent and hard work always beat overconfidence and cheating. Joshua will control every single moment.
Got bigger head guards, bigger gloves, so stuff like speed and like athleticism plays more of a factor because you're able.
Derek Chisora didn't hold back. This fight will be easy for Anthony Joshua. Fans can see it clearly. Joshua's confidence is unmatched, and Jake Paul has no chance. Joshua's experience, power, and mental strength will dominate the ring. Paul may have leaned on drugs for confidence, but Joshua will control everything. This will be a one-sided performance, proving why Joshua is a true champion and Paul is completely overmatched. Fans are already expecting a decisive win. Joshua's professionalism, discipline, and skill will leave Paul exposed and humiliated, reinforcing his status as one of the best heavyweights of his generation.
Easy fight for him. And I think this should be laid to rest because I don't think AJ's going to go in and try and pat. AJ's going to smoke him.
Anthony Joshua has shown the world why he's a true champion, a complete fighter. With Jake Paul failing his drug test and leaning on shortcuts, the stage is perfectly set for Joshua to dominate from the opening bell. Fans can expect a masterclass in skill, power, and strategy as Joshua controls the ring, exploits every weakness, and methodically breaks Paul down. Joshua's experience, conditioning, and fighter spirit ensure that no matter how confident Paul was, he will face a humiliating defeat. Every punch, every movement, every tactical decision will prove that hard work, discipline, and natural talent always triumph over overconfidence and cheating. The world is about to witness a one-sided performance that cements Joshua's legacy and exposes Paul for what he truly is. Are you backing Anthony Joshua to crush Jake Paul? Or do you think Paul can shock the world? Share your thoughts below and join the debate.